Welcome to the Black Wealth Creator Podcast, where we uplift the Black community through financial education. Welcome back to the podcast. We misuse two words, rich, wealth. Like we'll look at a rich person and be like, oh, that dude's wealthy. Or we'll look at a wealthy person and be like, oh, that man is mad rich. And a lot of times they are used interchangeably, but I'm here to let you know they're not the same. They carry two different mindsets. So let's dive into what rich means in looking at it financially, and then let's dive into it what wealth means looking at financially. And then we're going to just talk about some of the differences between the two. So rich means you have a lot of income. You remember we've been talking about income. Income is what coming in. That's what's coming into your pockets. That's what's coming in from whatever outside source. People are thrust into riches. So you may get like an athlete who has bringing in millions now, or you may get a lottery winner bringing in millions now, settlement person bringing in millions now. So they have a large income coming in, but they spend a lot. They tend to show off their money. And a lot of times they spend more than they earn. We've all seen the documentaries. There's this documentary on ESPN called Broke, where we see rich people get a lot of money. Like I said, mainly some of the biggest examples we see are athletes and lottery winners. You see they win a lot of money, and the end of that person is just worse than when they began. Sometimes it's drug addictions. A lot of times it's just mismanaging your money. They don't know how to handle the amount of income that's coming in. I mean, how would you, a lot of us struggle bringing in, let's say 40,000 a year. We mismanage that. Like, oh man, if I had all that money, I would do X, Y, Z, da, 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 da. And the truth of the matter is, as you grow up in income, a lot of times we don't grow with, like our mindset doesn't grow with it. Like, so we have some of those same tendencies. Like, okay, well, I really wanted a purse this weekend, so I went and bought it. Like, and I charged it up. Yeah, okay. So that's your decision. Like I'm always about, hey, push. That's your decision. I just want you to know what you're doing when you do those types of decisions. So when you take the rent money and you buy a purse, that's rich behavior. Like that's what rich people do. They take money that they probably should have allocated towards something else because they know they got more money coming in, and then they buy what they want to buy at the time. But the only thing about it is rich people, they still depend on money. Like they still depend on their large income coming in. And when that income is cut short or cut off, or it just isn't fit to handle the bills or the debt, as we talked about, that comes with their lifestyle, that's when you start to see the rich people, okay, like the Ferrari get repossessed or they have to sell it. Like you start seeing these things because they haven't positioned themselves in a way to maintain their money. Rich people spend at the amount that they make. So, and we see this in everyday life, like, cause in all honesty, riches is subjective. Rich and wealth, that's all subjective. Like, we're gonna talk about wealth, but it's a subjective thing. So we might look at a rich person, oh, he making $2.4 million, and it's like, oh man, he rich. But a person in rural Africa or rural Asia might look at our $1,500 a month and like, wow, y'all are rich. Like you're rich. And so that's why I was saying rich is all depending on that person, like that, the society that you live in. So, but a person who's exhibiting rich behavior will spend the money at the level in which they make it. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? So if I get a raise on my job of, I don't know, let's say $2,000, like overall the whole year, $2,000 increase. But then I go out and I might buy a car or upgrade my car to an extra, I don't know, $200 a month. Like I went from this size car, but I got a raise in my job, so I'm gonna get a better looking car. Like I said, this is rich behavior. This is what rich people do. They get this new car, keep up with the Joneses, or to have their image looking good, and they now that $2,000 raise, That ain't including taxes that got to come out of that $2,000. And so that new $2,000 that you're getting per year, now you just got that new car, $200 per month. That's $2,400 a year added. So you're really at a deficit of $400. But all you see is, oh man, I got that raise on the job. I got a new car. So that's rich behavior. Rich people spend at the amount that they make. They spend at that same amount. Let's talk about wealthy people. Like, that's the whole point of this channel. Like, I really want to help people become wealthy. Wealthy people, some attributes of wealthy people. Time to do the things you want to do. Time, okay. Time to spend with the people you love. Time, okay. Time again. Time to learn about things you want to learn about. Time. See, the difference between wealthy people and rich people define themselves by their dollar. They buying big flashy things because I want to show you how much money I make. Wealthy people define themselves by the time that they buy back by not being big and flashy, the time they buy back by saving, the time they buy back by investing. So wealthy people may be worth $5 million, $5 billion. Who knows? But they are able to live a lifestyle within that means. And a lot of time, I even look at like some of the wealthiest people in the world, Warren Buffett. Like he's still living the same house he bought back in I think it was 85, maybe even before that, 75. Like, he's still living in the same exact house. They were like, Warren, why he driving like a Corolla for a long time or something like that, something crazy like that. I was like, Warren, why don't you? He's like, do you know how much money I could make on the stock market if I invested this instead of buying a brand new car or buying a brand new Beamer or buying a new house or whatever? He was like, do you know how much money I'm really, like, you say it's costing you $50,000. But if I could take that $50,000 and flip it and make $500,000, that car really just cost me $500,000. So when we're talking about wealthy people, they think, now Warren he's addicted to investing, so that's his thing. But wealthy people think beyond the dollar amount. They think about the time and the energy. Like, man, if I spend, and that's what my mindset now. I'm just trying to get better at that. Like, man, if I spend $150 on some shoes, and if I only make like $25 an hour, like, realistically, those shoes cost me 6 hours of my life. Like, you really think about, like, that's how wealthy people, it's a mindset. It's not so much about the money. It's about the mindset. So they go beyond, like, oh man, that cost me 6 hours of my life for these shoes. Like, especially if you don't have it in savings. So you're just using money that you maybe using the rent money to buy shoes and stuff. That's rich behavior. We don't want to be rich. We want to be wealthy. And then when we get the wealth that we're desiring, like I said, everybody's wealth is different. But once we get to that wealth state that we desire to be, then we can adjust our budgets or adjust our spending. But like, okay, now I can include a nice pair of shoes. Now I can include a nicer car. Now I can, and it's not gonna eat away my money. So what's the differences? Like, what are the differences? So first, mindset. The mindset of a wealthy person versus the mindset of a rich person is just completely different. A rich person thinks about money. A wealthy person thinks about time. Rich people may own items, period. Like, it doesn't generate anything. They may own a lot of shoes, a lot of cars, a lot of things. But wealthy people own income generating assets. Their money is bringing in things they buy, bring in more money for them. And then lastly, like, rich people, it's not sustainable. One injury, one bad business decision, one this or that, and it can all be gone like that. Whereas wealthy people, because they're normally diversified, that just means in all different types of areas, then let's say that rental property goes down. That's okay. I still got a couple more that can help me build and stuff like that. So wealthy people are normally much more diversified, and small events or setback won't crumble them. Whereas with a rich person, a setback will crumble them. Wealthy versus rich versus wealthy. What should we desire to be? We truly should desire to be wealthy, to have income coming in via assets that we own, and then mainly just our mind. Like, let us start thinking about things in time. Like, how can I save more time? How can I spend more time with my family? Like, how can I buy my freedom? How can I buy my freedom back? Like, because debt is slavery. Now I'm not saying it's the new slavery. People say that. I'm like, whoa, pause. Like, you don't know what slavery was. Like, let's not go that far. But debt can be really heavy. So, like, debt is a burden to the people. So let's buy our freedom back from the credit cards and from the house loans and the car loans and the payday loans. Like, let's buy our freedom back so we can start spending the time learning about the things we want to learn about, doing the things we want to do, and most importantly, spending it with the people that we love the most. Thank you for listening today. Remember, getting money is easy, but building wealth takes time and effort. Anybody can do it, especially you. Be blessed.